Hey, what's up guys, it's Marlakani here. So in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to create a Python program called triangle. And it's a very common question in interviews, so without further ado, let's get started. So first of all, we're going to write rows is equal to 5. So we have to set the rows, like the amount of rows that the output has to display. So rows is equal to 5. Then we're going to write a for loop. For I in range 1 rows plus 1. Now in this case, it's the same thing as doing for I in range 1 to 6, but it's much better to use rows plus 1, because if we change it to 1 to 6, it's like more specific. Like we're telling Python like specifically to put the range till 6. But if you just put rows plus 1 and then you change this to 10, then it automatically adjusts to the whatever number, whatever value you changed inside the rows variable. So yeah, this is much better for like interviews. Yeah. Now we're gonna write print star symbol and then times. Now don't confuse these two are both like different things, because this is actually like this asterisk symbol, like it's a string, but this is actually a multiplication symbol in Python, a star. So star symbol times I. Now what does this full code do step by step? Now if you do like rows is equal to 5, so this basically we're setting it to 5, then here we're setting it to 1 rows plus 1, so 5 plus 1 is 6, so it's same thing as doing 1 to 6, but it's much better. So 1 to 6, and then here the I value, it's gonna keep like doing plus 1 every time. So in this case star is 1, so 1 star times the value of I. So it's the value of I first of all starts with 1. 1 star times 1 is 1. Then 1 star times 2 is 2 stars. 1 star times 3 stars is 3 stars. 1 star times 4 is 4 stars, and so on. Now if you don't believe me that it prints a right angle triangle, let's check this out. And as you can see, it ends up printing a right angle triangle. Because look, just like I said, 1 star, then 2 stars, then 3 stars, 4 and 5. Now we could change the value of the rows variable to anything we would like, for example 50. Now let's remove the output, and as you can see, boom, it printed a really like giant right angle triangle. But yeah, to make it shorter we could do like 15. Now let's redo it, run it again, and as you can see, it's gonna it's gonna like do 15 rows of a right angle triangle. And yeah, this was a very like simple and easy tutorial. So yeah. Alright guys, now that we understand the right angle triangle, let's look at the next pattern. This one is actually simple, but it introduces an important idea. Now we want to print a square made of stars. Now every row has the same number of stars, and the number of rows is also the same. Now we have to follow each step in order to build our program. So step 1 is decide how many rows the pattern will have, just like in our previous program of the right angle triangle. So we're going to write rows is equal to 5. Now as you can see, step 1 is done. Now step 2 is use a loop to repeat printing each row, again just like our previous program. So for I in range rows, then print my bad. Now we have to follow our the third step, which is use print to print each iteration. So print asterisk symbol, or you could also call it the star symbol. Print star times Yeah, print star times rows. Now basically, here we decided how many rows we want. We're using loop to repeat printing each row. So like for I and range rows, so there are 5 rows. So basically it's like, yeah, we're gonna print 5 rows, and this it's gonna multiply every row. So one star, one like star a string times 5 is 5 stars. So each time it's gonna print like 5 rows like this, and yeah, basically it's gonna form a square. Now let's run the program. Oh, I made a mistake. So this is also a common mistake, which is an indentation, which is basically putting tabs. All right. Now as you can see, it ended up printing a square. But wait, it actually looks like a rectangle. Now you might be wondering why, but in Python we don't really care. Like Python doesn't really care about like the spaces, or like if it actually looks like a square. It actually cares like a square in Python is it if it has the same number of rows. Yeah, if it has the same number of rows and columns, I think, and iterations. So in order for it to actually look like a square, we're just gonna add a space in here. So it's gonna actually end up spacing out all the stars in the square, which is actually gonna end up making it look like a square instead of a rectangle. Now let's run the code, and as you can see, it actually ends up looking like a perfect rectangle, a square. And yeah, guys, as you can see, we built our second program, which was the square program, very easily. Alright guys, before we just made a triangle of stars. Now let's make it look nicer by centering the stars. Now this is called a pyramid pattern. It's like the triangle but in the middle. And obviously, just like our previous programs, we have to follow steps in order to build the pyramid program. Now, number of rows for the pyramid, let's do rows is equal to 5 again. Now we have step 2 is a loop through each row. So for I in range 1, 2 rows plus 1, just like how we did in our triangle program. Like the for loop, like these first 2 lines, they are basically the same as the triangle program, but the third line would be completely different, which is printing the spaces first to center the stars and also to print the stars along with it. So how do you do that? So I'll show you guys how you do that. So first of all, we're gonna print like a space, and yeah, obviously I forgot to put the indentation. Always make sure to put indentation after the for loop. So this we printed, we wrote a space times rows minus 1 plus where's the plus star times I. Now this whole line might look complicated, but I'll break it down for you guys step by step in easy terms. Now this is a space. Now space times rows minus 1 minus I, sorry. Now each time with iteration, the I variable, the value of the I variable changes. So first of all, it was 1, then after it's gonna become 2, then 3, then it's gonna loop 5 times. So here in this case, it's rows. It's always gonna stay the same. So 5 minus which is the first iteration value, which starts with 1. So 5 minus 1 is 4. So it's the same thing as doing space space times 4. Now space times 4 is equal to 4 spaces. Now same thing for the rest. You do space times here it's space times 5 minus 2, which is 3. which is 3 spaces. Then you do again the same thing, space times 4, but in this case it's actually 5 minus wait a minute, 5 minus 1 is 4, 5 minus 2 is 3, 5 minus 3 is 2. So in this case, times 2 is equal to 2 spaces. So and so on. So it's gonna end up printing each stars with after 4 spaces, which is gonna end up looking like a pyramid. And it's gonna end up looping till 5. So once it reaches till 5, so again, space times 5, which is space times 5 minus 5. 5 minus 5 space times 0 is equal to 0 spaces. So the last star would have 0 spaces. So this is how it actually works, this entire program. So now let's run the program. And wait a minute. Okay, guys, I made one tiny beginner mistake, which actually ended up printing a left angle triangle, which is actually we have to put spaces for each stars. Yeah, so space here. So once we run this code, as you can see, it ends up printing a pyramid because look, 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 3 spaces, then 2, then, and yeah, it's gonna end up printing 0 spaces for the last one. And yeah, guys, this was a very easy and fun tutorial.